What up, cuckolds? It's your boy the Hater up in this piece, and I'm doing a video that has been requested for literally years at this point, okay? First, I'd like to preface this by telling you a little bit about myself. So when the Hater was a really small boy in the old country, he was definitely one of the cool kids. Then I moved to the United States, where when I was young, I experienced some bullying. Nothing severe, nothing the Hater didn't get over immediately, and nothing that the Hater would be bothered by today. Then, in high school, the Hater started working out, the Hater started working on his confidence, and it just kind of came. And then by college, I was bullying the people that were bullying me, you know? So the Hater has seen bullying from all sides of the spectrum, cucks. And the Hater wanted to make this video because a lot of people wanted me to make this video, but also because I've always had opinions on this. Now, I don't know much about the Wrestling Otaku, so everything that I say here has to do with what I do know. Now, he may have other issues and other problems that I'm not aware of, and maybe I would judge him differently if I knew. But from what I know, I will say this. When I learned about the Wrestling Otaku, just by watching Smarkbusters back in the day, you know, they did some videos on him. I thought it was funny. It was a little bit of a feud, you know, but at the end of the day, I always thought it was in good spirits. Even the Smarkbusters themselves would say, oh, you know, Otaku's good in our book occasionally, right? Then, when the Smarkbusters highlighted this guy, and I guess he got some relevancy on the internet, a lot of people, I would just go there on YouTube and I'd write Wrestling Otaku just to see what Wrestling Otaku actually does, right? And every video that I saw was just people with like 5 views, videos with 5 views, just burying, quote unquote, the Wrestling Otaku. Now, I haven't watched enough of Wrestling Otaku because I don't really have that much time, nor do I really like watching internet wrestling community stuff unless it's J-Rant or Casual Q, you understand me? But beyond that, I don't really give a damn, right? So I don't know much about what Wrestling Otaku has done, but based on the Smarkbusters video, I see why people want to bully him. And I just want to say that personally, I always thought it was over the top and unreasonable. You know, here's why. The Smarkbusters, I can justify that because they had a little issue with him that went both ways, right? But for people to randomly go out of their way and quote-unquote bury the Wrestling Otaku just to get some views in hopes that they're going to start their little YouTube channel made me sick. And here's why, cucks. What the fuck has this Wrestling Otaku guy done? And maybe there is an answer, but as far as I know, he's done nothing to merit this kind of bullying. Sure, maybe he's a little bit awkward and he's a little bit like silly and how seriously he takes wrestling from what I can tell, but that's neither here nor there, right? He's entitled to do that. And don't get me wrong, people are entitled to, if they want, make videos about him. However, the way that people have asked me to make videos about him, right, over the last few years, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like a lot of people want me to just make a video making fun of this guy. And why would I do that? He's done absolutely nothing bad to me, right? Why in the blue hell would anyone pick on someone for absolutely no reason, right? I'll give myself as an example, right? I would never have made a video years ago about technical work rate productions if they didn't mention me first. Quite honestly, I've only watched like 3 of their videos in my entire time on YouTube, right? And even before, I knew who they were because of the 3 videos that I watched, right? But I would never go out of my way to make fun of someone unless they make fun of me first. And then at that point, you can kiss my ass. Nobody makes fun of me. You understand me? But the reality is that people want me to quote-unquote bury the Wrestling Otaku as if he deserves to be buried, right? He's just a guy who's trying to enjoy himself with something he's passionate about. I don't know how many fans he's got, but I'm assuming he's got a few thousand subscribers. He's been around for a long time, but I don't know. You know what I mean? I didn't do any research before I made this video. This is an on the cuff as I'm walking around video. You can maybe hear the birds chirping. But I bring this up because it's part of a big problem, not just in the internet wrestling community, but in the internet in general, right? There's this weird penchant that people have to make fun of each other for no reason. Now, the Hater understands. This might seem a little bit hypocritical because the Hater, every other video, talks about how much Karrion Kross sucks, right? But that's a bit different, motherfucks. We're talking about public figures here, right? Actual celebrities in the context of something that we all presumably watch and love, wrestling, right? To talk about other people who are in the same position as me, the Wrestling Otaku, people that are just making videos for something they're passionate about, is really irresponsible. Now again, if he comes after you first, that's a different story, right? Shame on him if he comes after you first, right? But the way that things shape out, I really dislike the way that this weird community is sometimes, right? Because I don't even consider myself to be part of the IWC because I'm not part of the community. I don't go around involving myself in discords and all that other crap, right? But the truth is the truth, right? The truth is the truth. And I've always felt that he has been targeted for no reason whatsoever. The only reason I haven't made this video earlier is quite frankly because I didn't feel like it. You know, I wasn't bored enough, I guess. Right now, I'm waiting to go to dinner. I got a couple of hours, so I figured I'd make this video. But the reality is exactly that, right? People that want to bully each other for absolutely no reason are not cool in my book, right? I'm all for a good little banter, right? But to start something, to start a relationship with someone with aggression is irresponsible and it's insincere and it's not very nice. Cucks. You understand what I'm saying? I'll give you a quick example. One time the hater was in a bar and some girl pretty much played a prank on one of the hater's friends, right? And I turned around to this girl and I said, look here, sweetheart, all right? Let me put it to you this way. There's an imaginary line dividing my group of friends with your group of friends. Now, you are allowed to breach this line if you'd like, obviously, right? Just like I'm sure we're allowed to breach the line as well, to engage in conversation, right? That's what people do in bars. However, when you breach this line in an attempt to put me down or put one of my friends down, that's not gonna fly very well with your boy, right? So I'm telling her this. The hater had a few drinks. This is before I quit drinking. And maybe I raised my voice. Some guy comes out of nowhere and he starts defending her honor. And I say, look, man, this is not gonna end the way you think. So I suggest you bounce, right? Quickly, he bounced outside the bar when me and my friends were leaving. These three guys approach us and I was like, no. This is not gonna happen. Nobody intimidates us. Best believe, right? We went about our separate ways and everything was all hunky-dory afterwards, more or less, cucks. But the point I'm trying to make is exactly that analogy taken in the internet, right? Why in the blue hell would someone go after someone, right, if they haven't done anything to that person, right? And quite frankly, the fact that it's been years since this little feud with the Smarkbusters, right? I've switched like 3 jobs since then, motherfucks, right? I think I was still in school when this was happening. So with that being said, why and how is it that people still want to go after this guy? You know? Now, honestly, I ask honestly, right? Because maybe he's just a piece of crap that's doing things to ruin people's lives. I don't know. But from what I understand, he's just a guy that talks about wrestling, right? And his opinions are sometimes goofy, and I guess they go against the mainstream, or maybe they go with the mainstream. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. But what I do know is that people target him, right? And then he retaliates, right? He goes after people too because he's a human being. And all of a sudden people are like, I can't believe Wrestling Otaku did this. Like, I forget who it was. Maybe it was Smarkbusters, maybe it was Technical Work Rate. I don't know, and I don't really give a flying fuck, to be honest. But apparently he got someone banned. Someone told me in one of the comments, right? Or he like reported them. I don't know this nerd shit, right? But it's like, if these people, and again, I don't know, maybe it's Wrestling Otaku's fault. Correct me if I'm wrong. But whoever it is that he banned, if these people came after him first, why the hell would he respond in kind, right? Not everyone responds the same exact way, cucks. That's been one of my main points this entire time I've been on YouTube, right? That you should be careful who you deal with because different people respond differently. Personally, the hater doesn't believe in getting someone's account banned, right? For the same reasons that he doesn't believe in going after the Wrestling Otaku. We're all here to have fun, right? However, you know, just because I don't believe it doesn't mean that other people aren't gonna do it, right? That's called cause and effect, cucks. It's called cause and effect. And that's the problem. In this society, people get all surprised. They tread the line. That line I mentioned in my metaphor, they tread the line very closely. Sometimes they don't cross it, but they get just close enough to the line and say, look, I haven't crossed the line yet, so you can't do anything to me. No, motherfucks, not everyone operates under those principles that you think are absolute, right? Sometimes you get too close to the line and someone punches you in the face, or someone tells on you, or someone reports you, or whatever the case may be, right? The truth is that people do not respond in one monochromatic way. Right? The hater would never resort to, you know, I don't know, banning someone or complaining on YouTube or whatever. I don't even know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Believe you me. But I understand that not everyone stands up for themselves the same way, right? You know, especially when you're outnumbered. So as far as I'm concerned, if 19 people, let's say, bully Wrestling Otaku, and he's like, yo, I fucking had enough of this. What did I do to deserve this? And he goes and he reports them or whatever to YouTube for, I don't know, for harassment. I don't even know, right? Then why is that surprising, right? What should he do? Just tolerate people just using him to get like, you know, 15 views by making fun of him? You know, just because he might be a little bit goofy? What has he done, really, to make everyone hate him so much? You know, like I said, I understand the Smarkbusters because they had a little feud with him. But what about everybody else, right? As far as I know, again, to me, it seems like everybody else just kind of jumped on after the Smarkbusters, right? And they were like, oh, fuck this guy. We're going to make fun of him too, right? But think about what that means. You just went out of your way to make fun of someone. Now all bets are off, right? If this guy decides to find you and beat your ass, right? Don't be so surprised. Don't be like, well, all I did was make fun of you. You know what I mean? All I did was make fun of you. Why did you punch me in the face, right? Just like that girl. She's like, well, all I did was play a little prank. And I'm like, yeah, not everyone responds to pranks the way that your little friends do, all right? Some of us are weird people, motherfuckers, and some of us don't respond to pranks the exact same way, right? Some of us don't respond to good-natured fun in good-natured ways. And that's fine. That's fine. The important thing here to note is this, right? Generally speaking, people are going to be responding in the same way, especially on the internet, right? Nobody's out there, you know, finding each other and shit like that and beating each other up. But the idea is that you cannot expect someone to play a game by the rules that you've set forward, right? People set rules forward and they're like, oh, he didn't play by my rules. Well, fuck your rules. Who the hell decided that your rules are the ones that control? Maybe if you left a guy alone, he wouldn't be banning people and he wouldn't be doing all the other things that he's accused of doing, right? All that's, all, you know, whatever, banning people and commenting and sending his army, all the crap that I've heard of from the Smarkbusters videos, right? He's just doing videos. Leave the man alone, motherfuckers. Grow up, cuckolds. Grow up.